need a motion.
Mr. Chair, we have 7:30. You are now live. The floor is yours.
All right, so thanks everybody for being here. We'll just call to order the City of Huntington Woods Historic District Commission for Wednesday, May 1st. It is 7:30. The first order of business is the approval of the November 1st, 2023 meeting minutes. Just wanted to see if anybody has any comments. I know there were some audio issues, so there's a little bit of lost text, but I don't know if it's...
if I may, I think I am person 5 sprinkled throughout the notes.
You are person 5.
So,
Those words resonated with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so at this point, we do have our minutes taker here with us, so any corrections that you have, she'll be able to incorporate it in the final copy, so you approve the minutes as amended once you get to that stage.
Yep.
Yeah, otherwise, that's all I had to
Or you could change your name to person 5.
say. Good.
My name is still, after 2 years, I think,
It's-
not correct.
Yeah, M-I-C-H-A-L.
I believe this was the first time I took minutes for this commission because it meets so frequently, but I will make the correction and I apologize to both of you.
Thank you.
Okay, so we have person 5 solved. You got spelling solved. Anything else? If not, I would love to entertain a motion.
Wait, there's one very minor,
Okay?
I think, correct me if I'm wrong, on page 2, the architect might be Eric, not Aaron.
Oh, yeah.
It's A-R-I-K,
A-R-I-K, correct.
Yeah.
Did I miss that?
and we will get that.
Okay. Anybody want to make a motion?
I move that they-
Approve minutes as presented with amendments,
Is amended.
as amended, sorry.
I second the motion.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Okay. Awesome, we'll just keep rolling then. So we do have our applicants here, so we've got the, let me flip to the opening page, sorry, so that I can read it properly. So we have one application today, and it's the Hayama application at 26. Hayama, thank you. I always get it wrong. There we go. At 26695 York. And I do believe our applicant is here, so just the way this will work, just so that everyone who have respectful dialogue, you get a chance to present. There'll be some questions. It's not going to be a tit for tat. Once you present, we'll have some questions and we'll close the discussion. We'll do a little discussion and then we'll roll on the application. So if you wouldn't mind, please, when you talk, just state your name and enter your address. That'll be true for, there's no public, but if there was any public, that would be true as well. So the floor is yours.
Karen Hanema, and I live at 26695 York.
Could I ask that you speak up into the microphone? It'll never pick it up if you don't.
Thank you.
We're recording this?
Yes, we are.
For posterity? All right,
Yes,
excellent.
that is correct.
Right. So, I currently have 2 privacy fences on the south side of my backyard and the west side of my backyard. I've asked to install another line of fencing matching what exists on the north side of my yard. This is my neighbor to the north. She concurs. That's the extent of our request.
Mr. Chair, okay, at that point, the only thing that I wanted to bring up was that the administrative approvals do not allow for privacy fence approvals, or we wouldn't be here. This is one case where she has 2 out of the 3 sides done. The privacy fence can be had, if it wasn't in the historic district, as long as it follows to code. So meaning you can return to the rear of the house and then, come back in towards the actual corner of the house. As long as it goes back with the code, staff would have no objection. The 2 borders already have this style pictures, which is a shadow box privacy fence, which you see in the diagrams of the picture that was provided for you, and the Secretary of the Interior's guidelines. One, a property shall be used for historic purpose or placed in new use that requires minimal change to the defining characteristics of the building and its site and environment. There is no change. Excuse me. The historic character of the property shall be retained and preserved. The removal of historic materials or alterations of features and spaces that characterize the property shall be avoided. This will be adding a fence, but the views and vistas would not likely see as an impact as it's in the rear of the house and the neighbor already approves of this. 3, each property shall be recognized as a physical record of its time, place, and use. Changes that create a false sense of historical development, such as adding conjectural features or architectural elements from other buildings, should not be undertaken. This really wouldn't apply. It's a fence. It's not even approaching the house. 4, most properties change over time. These changes that have acquired historic significance in their own right shall be retained and preserved. This would not apply as none of the fences in question are over 50 years old. 5, distinctive features, finishes, and construction techniques or examples of craftsmanship that characterize the property should be preserved. That would not apply because you're not altering anything. They're adding something. 6, deteriorated historic features shall be repaired rather than replaced. Where the severity of the deterioration requires a replacement of a distinctive feature, the new feature shall match the old in design, color, texture, and other visual qualities, and where possible, materials. Replacement of missing features shall be substantiated by documentary, physical, or pictorial evidence. This wouldn't apply because you're not doing anything to any of the historical features. 7 is chemical or physical treatments, which does not apply. 8 is significant archaeological resources affected by a project shall be protected and preserved. If such resources must be preserved, mitigation measures shall be undertaken. It really doesn't apply unless you find a dinosaur while you're digging for your post fences. We wouldn't have any issue with that. 9, new additions, exterior alterations, or related new construction shall not destroy historic materials that characterize the property. The new work shall be differentiated from the old and shall be compatible with the massing, size, scale, and architectural features to protect the historic integrity of the property and its environment. That wouldn't apply because we're not touching the original historic house. What we're doing is just adding a fence. 10, new additions and adjacent or related new construction shall be undertaken in such a manner that if removed in the future, the essential form and integrity of the historic property and its environment would be unimpaired. This would be the case. I mean, the fence could simply be removed. So having that, that's really all I have. There really isn't anything that we would have to add to this. It's a simple continuation of an existing privacy fence.
So if this house was not in the historic district, this would be administrative approval?
If this was not in the historic district, it wouldn't even need, they would just come to the front and get a permit.
So the only thing, would you mind just stating your name and
Yeah,
address
of
in the mic and just,
Yes.
that way it's
Sorry.
on the record and then
Yeah.
we're all done.
Yep. Sarah, S-A-R-A, I'll spell it for you because I'm not on there. Farulo, F-A-R-U-O-L-O, and I'm at 26705 York Road.
And you're good with everything?
I'm good with everything. Yeah, I have privacy fence on the west side of my property as well, and just a regular fence on the north side, so the current one is an eyesore, and it needs to be gone.
Perfect. All right, thank you very much. Just while you're here, we'll get you on the record.
Yep.
I'll just leave it up if anybody up here has any questions, comments, anything they want to talk about on this, for this application.
So I have a question. It's gonna be, I'm assuming where the picture is and there's a driveway. So you're not gonna close the driveway and attach it to the house?
There's an existing gate
Oh, okay.
that's
So it's,
not touching.
okay, so it's just gonna connect to the gate.
Any other discussion? Okay, I don't see any public participation, so we're just gonna look for a motion, if somebody would make a motion.
I can do it. I move that the fence be approved as being in accordance with standards 1, 2, and 10 of the state guidelines.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Your motion passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Could I ask one question?
Sure.
Is there any way that you can waive the $300 that we had to pay to get this approved?
The board can't do that,
Who can?
nobody.
No.
It's part of the ordinance. When you pay, you have to pay to come to a board or a commission. There's a fee
I'm sure
schedule
that
set by the
There's
city
some
commission.
jurisdiction somewhere.
You can
And I
ask-
just raised this because, this was a very non-controversial, proposal. You know, I have two sides. This is, if you could see it, I should have taken a picture of the existing fence. It is quite an eyesore. It should have been removed when we moved in 24 years ago. And so it just seems like an excessive fee, to simply install a fence, which if we weren't in the historic, and it's not in the front of the yard, it will only improve, the look of our lots. So I figured it was worth a shot, to ask, because that's a significant percentage of what we're going to be paying to improve our property.
Mr. Chair, if I can make a suggestion, perhaps you could write a letter to, or an email to City Manager Chris Wilson. The only one that would have the authorization to change the fee schedule would be the City Commission. So, and he could help you go from point A to point B. But that's the only way that we could do this. Again, unfortunately, the board has no jurisdiction over this. I have no jurisdiction over waiving fees. And there is an expense that the city does when they put these meetings together, so that would be up to somebody above my pay grade.
I'm sorry, who did you suggest?
Chris Wilson. If
And
you want, Karen, what I'll do is I'll email you his contact information, and you should feel free to reach out.
We could give you $300 worth of controversy, it'll make you feel better.
I'm willing to go there. Yeah. The amount of bureaucracy that we had to get through to get this single fence.
Some
approved.
things are worth it, you know? It may seem like a inconvenience to you, but a number of years ago, I'm Joel Zolzman, I'm on the city commission. A number of years ago, we had a number of neighbors come in and complain about the historic district, and they didn't like the historic district, and they didn't like this. But you look at your home, you have a magnificent home. When you bought the home, you knew it was in a historic district, and.
I don't believe so.
No, she
Predates it? Okay.
Predated it.
Well, whatever, if you look at studies of cities who have historic districts, which is a lot, there are a lot of cities that have them, and what you'll find is there's a correlating increase in the value of properties that are in the historic district, because it assures that people, when they move in, they see the area, they like the area, they want to continue the area, and it assures that there's that the character of the area stays that way. So it may seem, and I can understand why you would say
My
that.
objection is very narrow. I'm not here to criticize or challenge
No,
the historic district. I'm simply pointing out that this is a very non-controversial, in the back of the yard,
But you see, the process has,
improvement that, that we're willing to invest in.
but the process has to be fair to everybody, and not every project is as simple as yours.
Well, exactly.
And that's what
That's
happens.
the point of my request.
I appreciate the feedback, so thank you. But Hank will give you some vehicles where you can kind of
Right,
talk about it, so thank you, we appreciate that.
sure.
Great. You don't have to hang around for the rest of the meeting if you don't want to, but you've got your approval, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Hank, it looks like we have a little bit of other other business.
We do, Mr. Chair.
It's been a while since we've all got together, so I
Yes.
guess we kind of missed our election time frame. huh?
Well, actually, it's the first meeting of the year, so, currently, the way that the structure is that Jeff is the vice chair and you are the chair. Both of you are eligible to serve if it's the pleasure of the commission and you're willing to do it. At this point in time, what you should do is you should open the floor for nominations.
Okay, I'd like to open the floor for nominations for, please let me know if it's for the chair or the vice chair, and we'll make some nominations.
I nominate Chris to be the chair.
Second.
Mr.
Any other
Am I
nominations?
allowed a second?
You're voting, full voting.
Second, you're all set.
Second, is it already approved?
Are there any, if there's no more, then you can vote on it. Assuming you're willing to do it.
I'm fine with it, it's fine. We good with that? So we've got, it's just the same slate?
Well, you gotta do.
We gotta do it
One at a
individually.
time? Okay, so let's have the vote for chair. I guess it's for Chris Vogelheim as chair. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, I guess that carries. So now our next victim, vice chair.
Nominate Mr. App.
It's so much work, you realize.
Can I second it? Am I allowed to?
Somebody else should.
I'll second the nomination.
All right, so any other nominations on the floor? Seeing none, let's go ahead and vote for Jeff for vice chair. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. Chair, at this point, we don't have any other business other than I do expect to have a meeting for June. So I will let you know, obviously, is closer because summertimes are notoriously hard to get quorums for. So I'll try to let you know as soon as possible. If you know that you're not going to be here, I'll send out an early save the date thing. Let me know, so if I have to make arrangements to accommodate an applicant, I'd like to be able to do so. So with that, I have nothing else, Mr. Chair.
Just real quick on this fence issue. I know we do have the administrative approval thing, and we've been working through that.
That'll be on in June. As soon, if we have the meeting, it'll be on in June.
Thank you,
and
sir.
this
I
will be-
appreciate that, because this is one that is a good case for that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do we have any big projects coming up?
Pardon me?
Do we have any bigger projects coming up?
At this point in time, I'm not sure what the scope of this one will be. It depends, it's kind of evolving. So, we'll see.
So just one last thing, time for public participation. I don't see anybody who is here to participate, so I'll close that. So then I think I'll be looking for somebody's most of our favorite motion.
Motion to adjourn?
All right, we have to have a second and vote.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Excellent work.
I see time at 7:40, it just turned to 7:48.
Excellent work.
Not quite a record.
There you go.